dun, dun, dun. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and we're back at it again, folks. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network as we bring you No Mercy and Victory Road preview show tonight. We'll jump into all the predictions. We'll break down the cards. It's going to be a fun one, folks. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Get in that chat. Click all the buttons. Strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel-good, and let's go! Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream as we bring you our predictions and our preview for No Mercy and Victory Road. Victory Road, we will be live tomorrow for at least some of it. And NXT No Mercy on Saturday. We will be here live early, so make sure you click that little bell and be here for all the shows, folks. We got lots coming your way, but it's going to be a fun one. Me and that pretty face have you for the next little while. So happy Friday, Junior. Hopefully you are happy, healthy, and safe. You're feeling good. You're ready for the weekend. But if you don't know who we are, well, I am Mr. Overnight KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I am Big Nick, and yes, we've got a double header-ish of pay-per-views this weekend of, again, still Victory Road going toe-to-toe with SmackDown, although they moved it back an hour because Western Canada. Would you have rather seen it be toe-to-toe with NXT, I guess, instead of toe-to-toe with SmackDown?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's interesting with the Friday shows because they are up against SmackDown. They kind of get swallowed up at times. I mean, it's a lighter card, but it's got a lot of fun stuff. Will there be an NXT presence? How will that look? What it's, coming out of Tuesday. But I mean, then you turn right around and have No Mercy. What happens on No Mercy? Is there a TNA presence? What goes down there? How does that look? Could Ricky Starks be a champion? So it almost feels like they're working together, right? Like it feels like,
yeah, for sure.
One feeding into the other kind of idea.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned about do we see a presence from either show at either show, if that makes sense. And especially coming off of Tuesday this week, you very much think that that's the case. Did you see that WWE has already filed for the trademark Invasion?
Let's go. Run it back. Let's go. I'm good with it.
I had a novel idea, and I'll say this quickly before we get into the predictions and everything. Could around this time been the perfect time to debut Dark State? To where they could just take out people from both sides, and whose side are they on? They've already done that whole gimmick. That's what they did before. See, I'm trying to like them.
You know what? That's not a terrible thought, like in the sense of if they had just been debuting now, and like you said, they run out on both shows. No, they have sprinkled them across both shows. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, that's not a terrible idea, bro, considering you're not the biggest of fans, especially of
my hatred for them. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, not hatred, disdain. I'll say disdain.
Disdain. Sounds so rough. We'll quickly run through the names. Remember, folks, get your predictions in. The prediction title will be on the line on Saturday for sure. Probably tomorrow, too. We'll talk about it. Okay. But we got lots of action, lots of wrestling. And again, this is only the beginning. The next few weeks is insane. So many pay-per-views, so many special shows. We got more original content. We got old friends returning to say hi. There's lots to talk about, lots to get into. So make sure you hit like, share, subscribe. We will break this down. But Zach, let's do this. Shout out to Spaz, Big Dog Mega, top 3 from last night. Joel, how you doing? Wrestling Proud, welcome back. Mega Dennis.
Well, shout out to Mega, by the way, real quick. It's his birthday today and everything. So happy birthday, Mega.
Mega, let's go.
Friend of the channel for a long time, my guy. And I found out through Discord he's a whopping year older than me.
There you go. He's getting up there. There you go. Nick officially passed me this year. I didn't age, and he got 1 year older.
KJ is still 21, folks. He's still 21 in your hearts.
Yeah, right. Shit. Happy birthday, Mega. Shout out MDB, the Knee pad patrol is on the loose here tonight. Mega, we got you. Hope you had a great day, sir. Thank you for spending part of it with us. Sean Reed's back. Anthony, good to see you. Cherokee George. OG Dale, speaking of old fans. Ken, Anthony, so many names in that chat. Keep it coming, keep it coming. But yeah, Nick, two exciting-ish cards for what we talked about. And
yeah,
how we
bold words of saying exciting. I don't know if exciting is exactly the best term to use, or there's some matches I really want to see, and there's some are matches.
Right. What up, Trey? Let's go. Randy, Joel P, a newer name, maybe, or someone else. Welcome. Right. But, all right, let's get into it. First match on the docket. We're going to start with No Mercy, folks. We're just going to do it that way. But No Mercy, we've talked about a grudge match. It is now a weaponized cage match. Big Nick.
I hate the gimmick, as we've discussed on Tuesday. I think the gimmick is putting a hat on a hat. I really like some of the posters and stuff that they've put out, the promotional stuff for this of Monroe and just like all black, like it's all blacked out, and then just the red door and then her silhouette. And I'll take you to hell or whatever it is. That's what I like about this feud and the way I wish they could go with this. And maybe hopefully this isn't the last of this. Then again, how do you come back from a weaponized cage match of just call it a fucking cage match, or just like I wanted to them just have a street fight. And if you want to build to a cage match, a Hell in a Cell, even bring it in the, I'll take you to hell and everything. When's the last time we saw a Hell in a Cell match?
We haven't. Well, was it Punk's Hell in a Cell? Did we see?
It was Punk Drew.
Yeah. So no, listen. I like these two feuding as far as what they can give us in the ring. I think there's a reason why these two women are feuding, because eventually, I think the winner of this goes towards the absolute championship very quickly. But I mean, we've had some bumps in the road with promo issues, maybe not being the best. This should be fun. You're right about the name. It's redundant. Once you say cage match, but I guess this cage is special because we're going to hang weapons on it. So it's essentially an asylum match. Like, here we go.
Well, it's it's a TNA match somehow on NXT almost a little bit. But even RM says, Richard saying the feud lost a lot of momentum. I
feel like it gapped a little.
Yeah, and I don't recall anyone getting hurt or anything that would have caused that gap. I think they just kind of put it on the back burner for a bit for whatever reason, or just kind of, and it's not like they don't have time to put, give it time on NXT or anything. We had Chase U showing up this past week and everything and involved in a match. So you got time that you can use.
Yeah, 100%. So, and Big Dog just echoing what we said as far as, I mean, once you say cage match or no DQ or falls count anywhere, we kind of assume at this point in history that we're going to get some weapons. We're going to get a table. We're going to get, some just one-on-one singles matches have tables now just because why not?
Well, those are mostly in another three-lettered promotion. But yeah, somehow, even though when you're not allowed to leave the cage, they still manage to end up putting weapons inside the cage. So they just, I guess, did the job for them.
Get on the cage. Fuck you. I'm getting in the
cage. In the cage. There seems to be less weapons in here.
Right. This should be fun. And it's going to be on these ladies to deliver a good wrestling match. Hopefully it's booked well. And I think whoever comes out victorious does go towards the top of that roster and heads after JC if she still has the title. But Blake, this is tight, Nick. The chat's going 53% Blake.
And I agree with them.
Neck and neck. That's an essential. That's like 2 votes off.
Yeah, but that's not. They're not wrong with it being that close. But I agree with them. I think that Blake Monroe gets the win here. You said she goes towards the NXT title, or the winner of this goes towards the NXT title. I think the loser of this will, particularly Jordan Grace, might be putting Monroe over before she skedaddles up to the main roster. So I think that could be a bit of the case. She's been rumored to go up there for a minute now. Does she need an NXT title run before she jumps up, or can she just skip the line?
Not if you have a plan for her. Not if you have something like for her to kind of chew on and get into. It probably, based on what we've seen in this feud, it wouldn't hurt for either one of these ladies to kind of keep working NXT for a little bit. I think Blake is going to be a star, but she's got to kind of come out of her shell a little bit since she got to NXT. Jordan's never been really known as a mic whiz, serviceable, but I think ultimately they're close. They're getting close, especially Jordan, because you can package her in a way that she doesn't have to talk. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. I was just going to piggyback on that. Of does Jordan, does she really need to be that much on the mic? And does she, this is going to sound insulting to some people in NXT, and I don't mean it to sound that way. Does she have somebody that she can work with that's, going to be at that same level, that can work the way that she works as the juggernaut and everything that's right now kind of at the top of the card in NXT? You have JC Jane, who's a smaller girl. You have Blake Monroe, who's a smaller girl coming off of AEW and everything. So she doesn't work anywhere near like the TNA style or anything. So is it more, there's more talent that Jordan can work with on the main roster than there is in NXT. If she stays down there, she's more just trying to help bring other people up.
Yeah, you got a point. And I mean, again, it's a deep division. You still got like Jada Parker that's waiting in the wings, showing great improvement. We got other girls coming up. You got someone like Soul, who's been outstanding and got completely over. Some people want to see her fast tracked up. So again, this will be a good match. Very important for kind of the positioning in the women's division. And like Richard said, this could very much be Blake sends Jordan to SmackDown.
Yeah, I could see that. And I don't mind the idea of Blake Monroe versus, right now, JC Jane would be your NXT Women's Champion. So we'll see after No Mercy how that goes, because that'd be heel on heel.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is the JC being pure kind of heelish. You have Blake kind of in that position. So it's going to be really interesting if they go that way. But officially, I'm going to go Jordan Grace.
Fair, and I really can't argue with it. There's nothing saying that Jordan doesn't win this and she goes on that run, and depending on how you think the women's title match on the card goes could determine really how this match goes.
Yeah, for sure. Where they're heading with this will definitely dictate. Again, I feel like this is a very big positioning match, right? No title on the line, more of a grudge match, but it really sets up the next little bit for NXT and the top of their women's division.
Right. Cherokee depends on the weapons used in the cage: barbed wire crutch, sledgehammer, ever omnipresent trash can. No, because Io Sky's not there to jump off the cage with it on.
It'd be sure cooler if she was.
Right. Stevens taking Blake. MDB pointing out that McDonald's in Canada sells poutine, sir.
Yes, all the major fast food places sell a version of poutine.
I really wonder what poutine would be like. Don't clip that.
He just wandered into a dream, folks.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking with McDonald's fries. I had a fat kid moment. You saw the drool drip down for a moment.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I still kind of prefer like the McDonald's fries straight up, but like Burger King, when all the places all have their own poutine. And then, you get fancy poutines at some of them.
Can you get cheese curd on a burger?
No, I think they fall off.
That's crazy talk around here. Not unless it's drowned in gravy.
I mean, some crazy places have like a poutine burger, but that's just messy for.
It replaces the cheese. But anyways, before we go down fat kid conversation, it's 8 o'clock. We're hungry, clearly.
But the next match on the docket, speaking of never mind. Anyway, moving on. Sol Ruca will defend the North American title, or speed title against Lainey Reed, who's been pushed kind of hard lately.
Yeah, and that's what we need to clarify, that this is the speed title, and this is where it gets interesting though to me, because Sol's also your North American champion, is probably one of your top women's talent on NXT, and is in probably your top women's tag team on NXT. Right. So she's really kind of your star. How do you get it to where she drops a title that doesn't matter in this match?
So I have a theory, Nick. I have a theory. Like, and look at the chat. The boys, you mentioned Sol Ruca. When I say she's popular, the boys just come out swinging. Just, they
they're all hoping to be Soul Snatch, like the Reckoning, or the what was it that was supposed to happen?
The Reckoning. Now you got me. The rapture.
The rapture. They're all trying to be soul snatched in the rapture there.
There you go. Absolutely. But this is interesting. I think Zarya costs Soul the speed title and sets up the North American title match.
Oh, why did you pay me like that? Why would you have them split right there? There's been they were having a jolly good time playing with whiteboards and everything. And so what she was going to crack over the head with a whiteboard?
Right. Sorry, I get distracted by the poutine talk in the chat right now. One poutine Happy Meal, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, has there been a few signs of some like stepping on each other?
No, they were literally just having a ball this same
they
week.
were.
That only works if you have a Frosty.
Right.
But no, I still think Laney Reed wins this because it's the speed title. And I don't know if I really will be surprised if it's an outright clean win. Does maybe Laney partner with the Fatal Influence now that Nick's got nixed?
Oh, does she slide into Nick's spot? That's interesting.
I'm just trying to think of something here because again, to me, the speed title is a nice little intermission. You could probably have it for a commercial break for those who watch it on Netflix, and it's, you got to get your Vippins from Steph so you can watch the speed matches. But Soul needs to be worried about defending the NXT North American title and moving on from that. She doesn't need to be labored and anchored down with the speed title.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but I think I get hung up on the idea that your champion, your North American champion, losing that title clean in a 3-minute
No one
match.
said clean. No one said clean. That's the weird thing is we need to figure out how we get away from that being clean.
Yeah, that'll be the interesting part. Unless, like you said, maybe it's Izzy's been kind of sniffing around. Tatum's been an issue.
Even if Laney just pulls off a turnbuckle pad or something like that.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, though. If I'm officially going to make my vote, it's going to go to Reed. And 71% of the chat disagree with me. 73. 69.
Yeah. 89. Hut.
Right. So what are you thinking?
I've already said Laney Reed wins this one.
So you're locking in with Laney.
Oh, I've been locked in. I said it even on Tuesday. Sorry, I missed, I guess, that you asked me that because I've been already saying that Laney wins this.
Okay.
And because to me, like I said, the speed title is an albatross right now.
Yeah, and I don't really know. I agree with you. Like moving the speed title into the weekly show, I don't love. But the matches they did in this little tournament, they were fine. Like they were quick, but they weren't boring. They were decent.
Yeah, they were decent, and you featured some talent that doesn't get used. Like this is how a lot of people got introduced to Laney. You got used Candice. Would you move Speed to Evolution? Shout out Raf Man.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to? It has a nice little weird niche on NXT of it's all of 3 minutes. It's inoffensive, but would you almost rather use it on an Evolution to where you're going to use that to build talent up and everything?
Yeah, it's not a bad shout about Evolve getting their hands on
Evolve.
it.
Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, no, I mean, I see what you're saying. It's not big enough to bother me. You know, when we would have like those 10-minute Heritage Cup matches that were often not the most exciting matches. Like that to me, like if the speed title were like 10-minute matches, it might be a different conversation, but it, like you said, unoffensive might be the best way to put it.
It's the little gnat of shoe fly, don't bother me. If you don't bother me, and I won't bother you. But I do think that Soul's got to drop this and get this on of that speed title should be more of a way to develop talent instead of already on a talent.
Yeah, I mean, again, and you get these quick little hits. It's fine in that regard. And so, again, focusing on the North American title, is there something there for Zarya? Is there someone else lurking in the weeds, or both? Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a fun match, though. I think this is going to be a real show-off match for Reed, and Soul's already been on fire. So this match is going to be really good. It might be like a very surprising candidate for match of the night.
Soul tends to actually do that for the NXT shows, and I think this will be
Yeah.
very much a welcome to a seat at the table for Laney Reed.
Yeah. And then they've been putting her out in front of us. So we'll see how that one goes, Nick. The chat thinking Soul's gonna retain. We are disagreeing, and we move on to the next one where I am going to be forced to make a pick.
Canada?
Yeah, I'm stuck on this one. But yeah, Ethan Page and Tavion Heights for the North American title, men's edition.
Yeah, well, again, I feel like I'm kind of there with you because they faked us out. They scooped us out of. We thought Dr. Wagner Jr. was our North American champion this week, and then turns out Tavion Heights didn't win it, but he did beat Ethan Page by an ankle lock in all of like 10 seconds, and then they looked like they gave him the belt. And again,
yeah,
following the laws of wrestling, we're
Right.
scientists around here, even though we don't wear lab coats. We have laws of wrestling.
right.
He who goes over on the go home show goes under on the pay-per-view, and they could not have made that so much more. Like, I'm going to see that in the video package already for this match of seeing Tavion holding up the belt, and I'm not going to see that at the end of this match because I saw it at the beginning of this match, and that's a fucking dead giveaway to me.
100%. The only hesitation I have is could this be a match where Tavion goes over, and like we talked about in an earlier match, is Ethan bound for the main roster?
Yeah, but
that's the only caveat with this one.
Yeah, but I don't know if Tavion's the guy to do it, and if we end what we're doing, and that's no disrespect to Tavion because I love me some Tavion. I've been on the record of saying that I love me some Tavion.
Right.
Pause on all of that. But do we stop what we're doing with Ethan now, or does he even move up? Does he make appearances on the main roster with Chelsea Green, who because Piper Niven is shout out of T's and P's. Hopefully she's speedy recovery and it's not as bad as I've read and everything. But there's secret Hervis applications floating around.
Yeah.
Do we get a secret Hevis or Himvis or whatever? Do we have Ethan Page make an appearance with Chelsea Green while still an NXT North American champion? Why break up a good thing when you got it going?
It's a good thing. That's the one catch for me is the Ethan Chelsea relationship is absolutely money. Chelsea's one of the best pro wrestlers out there as far as bought into who she is and delivers what she is on such a consistent basis. Kind of bleeds the kayfabe into her real life and the way she presents herself on things like social media. She's outstanding. One of my faves, absolute faves. So if there's something there, I'm all for it. I'd love to see where it goes. I don't know if now is the time. I don't know if No Mercy is the time. There's a lot going on, and I really like Ethan Page with that belt, with that red and white belt. So I'm leaning to Ethan Page on this one.
I think you kind of have to. I know I see Joel out there saying, that's what I'm saying, KJ, why not push Tavion now, have him win the title, and Lexus starts his ish with Tavion. But we still got to figure out what's going on with Lexus King, with Miles Bourne, there is potential for this. Say if Tavion did win, him versus Miles Bourne is an interesting shout. Two former members of the Dempsey crew. But I don't get how you break up a good thing. Don't try and fix a thing that's already working.
Yeah, and even if you weren't intending for it to work, it works. So just run with it, right?
Do you just, like you mentioned, I think at the very beginning of this, do you just have it to where Ethan drops it just so he can clearly and officially move up to the main roster and we're done with NXT?
Maybe. And that's, I think, part of the guessing game we've had now. And I think in 2025, we've learned that there's a little more patience. And it feels like people stay longer. We talked about Roxy. We talked about even like someone like Cora prior to her being released. Even some of the male roster, we were like, when are they going to go? And finally, we started seeing some shift. But it seems like a much more patient approach. So I think this is going to be a hell of a match. We just said the last one could be a match of the night. This one could surprise us and be a match of the night. Ethan's a pro. Tavion's a blue chip prospect. I'm looking forward to this one, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. This, to me on paper, this is what I would probably pick as match of the night outside of maybe what I assume is the main event. of this will be your work rate match. This will be, spoiler alert, if you're an AEW fan watching NXT for the first time, this will be your favorite match. Because this will be that fast-paced action. This will be that work rate match.
Yeah, that's a valid point. I mean, they're gonna go. They're gonna go full out, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, I think this is a moment where you have a veteran like Ethan Page, who's on his own rise, really has a chance. Because I think even in a loss, Tavion can look really good. That kind of I've arrived kind of match, even if he doesn't win.
Yeah, and we might kind of see that a couple times on this show. Now, I worry if Tavion takes an L after he took so many L's to get his, freedom and everything from Dempsey. Does he just habitually keep losing in the big moment here?
Yeah, that becomes part of the equation of, I mean, for Ethan, he'll be fine. Tavion, he's going to have a lot of big moments. So I think you get out of it okay, no?
Yeah, like I said, to me, there's no bad outcome here, almost.
All right. So officially, you going Ethan as well?
Yeah, like I said, if I'm going through the laws of wrestling and all of that, I mean, just it's the science.
It
folks.
feels, yeah.
They did it, like I said, they're going to show that clip from Tuesday and show Tavion holding the belt. And that's never a good sign when a guy's trying to hold the belt at the end of the night. If I see him holding the belt at the start of the night.
Right. You don't touch the trophy till it's yours.
Exactly. Lord Stanley laws apply here.
Right. All right, Nick, chat. The next poll is up. Get your votes in. But JC Jane, who's been on fire, taking on a refreshed Lola Vice.
Do we want to read Spaz's
We should read Spaz's chat because that poutine joke's been there for a hot minute now.
Fair enough. Well, you're the resident poutiner, so you can read it.
Can't say poutine without poo. Me and Jake's preview are available. Nice segue. And I'll be solo with a live premiere at 10:30 tonight after the boys. And like a scarecrow, I'm outstanding in my field. Well, Spaz, thank you for the $10 super chat. Go give Spaz some love. Go check out him at 10:30 tonight after we go off the air. Go check out our buddy Spaz.
Right. Show him the love we show him. And I do. That is a clever ass line, though. I'm saying, and like a scarecrow, I'm outstanding in my field.
I love it. Well played.
Right. So, should we just get the horse out of the barn here? So, are you taking Lola?
Yeah, I'm going to take Lola.
Yeah, we all kind of figure that. For those who are of the uninitiated, KJ has very much of that in his personal top 5. Lola is in there and will always be in there. KJ is a fan for the Latin female wrestlers: Elektra Lopez, Lola Vice.
J-Lo, here we go.
Right, exactly. He's still KJ from the block.
Right,
so
Lola from the block.
You were taking Lola.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call. I am going Lola just for fun, but it's a tough one to call, Nick. Like, is JC going to continue on this run?
I don't know. Well, according to Lola, she don't have an ass to shake in this match here. So I'm surprisingly going to agree with you because I think you predicted one team splitting earlier tonight with a match or two ago. I think this is where you see Fallon break free from JC Jane of she could be the one that took out Jasmine because I'm coming for you, JC, or what have you. Because there's been that underlying tension for a minute, and we've kind of talked about it at times to where JC would be out there cutting a promo, and you can see Fallon just rolling her eyes and just wanting to get at this woman. So I think that's you're out of here. And because I think Blake wins the match with Jordan, you think she's going after the NXT title. So you now have Hugh versus Babyface and Lola. Lola's first defense is versus Blake Monroe, and it comes with an obligatory drool bucket for every male viewer.
Listen, I hope this is a really good match. Lola's been close to the top before. She's been involved in some good things. She's had some good moments. She's had some not so good moments. But I really like what they've done with her. And going to AAA seemed to give her a new life, a new confidence. She's super over in AAA. Now, does her going back and forth maybe play into whether or not they give her a belt at this time, or maybe that's part of why she does get a belt.
I think it could be part of why she does get a belt. I think Richard also followed up with another interesting point. Is she a transitional champion? Is she a way to get the belt from JC to Monroe?
Touche. That's very possible. Tabernacle. That's highly possible, Nick. That's if anything, like that's your way to bridge it, and without them to, without burning that bridge.
That to me is your way. Well, not even expecting that Blake's going to be NXT champion. I think even just how you get to that feud, and then you can have the Fallon JC feud that branches off of this while Jordan moves on to the main roster. I think you've now moved 3 different stories. You've moved almost 5 players on the board in kind of one fell swoop there. You've started Lola versus Monroe for the title, JC versus Fallon in a split up of Fatal Influence, because that's got to be all but done and dusted now, because it's now just 2. And then Jordan does what she's going to do. So I think Lola wins because it moves the most pieces on the chessboard in one fell swoop.
It really does. It kind of shifts everybody real quick, and kind of gives that top of the title picture kind of a shake up. JC might want a return match, so you might have to deal with that. But like you said, it's a nice way to get to Blake. There's somebody like Izzy kind of floating around if you want to throw her somebody to kind of get a W off of in the interim. Yeah, there's options there. Now, JC could retain and continue. Do they add in, do they replace Jasmine Nix? Does that play into this? Because what if Jordan wins? Is it Jordan JC coming up?
Do we see that's not a bad shout of that's the entire opposite of what I was saying before. Does 2 things. If Lola wins here, does it slightly validate her and kind of give her that, hey, you done good, kid, because she was out there with the fake onion babyface tears before.
Right.
She's gotten stuff over in AAA now, flirting with Mr. Iguana. So is it kind of one of those, we got you, here's your nice little participation trophy? At the same time, does anyone from TNA get involved in any of these matches, particularly in this one of JC's, made some not so many enemies over in TNA? Do we see maybe an Ash by Elegance to get Anthony's rocks off of? She comes out and costs JC so Lola can win this, because now I'm not talking about anything else, but matches have been called off from Victory Road. So somebody's got free dates now.
It's getting a little ugly, but yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, so the chat is 50-50 on this one. Ooh. So what I will say about No Mercy is there is a lot of uncertainty. Like, this doesn't feel like a slam dunk predictable card. There's options here.
Oh, and that's a big ass option from Alan out there of since now. It's so funny seeing everybody on Twitter today after we were here for Dynamite last night. Right. And now that they were in Britsburg and there was no Brit to be seen. Yeah. So she's just gone. So is she gone all the way?
It's like watching some of the fans go through like the 7 steps of grieving, right? The 7 stages of grief. Like they just beside themselves of like, we were hopeful, then it all fell apart. Now I'm fucking depressed. Like it's such a sad situation. But I don't know. And the idea that Britt's going to show up in the WWE, a lot of things would have had to happen. And I'm shocked because I think the minute Britt officially leaves AEW, say lawyers get involved and they cut her loose, Meltzer will be instantly, hey, Dave, you got to let the people know this is what happened, and it's all her fault. I heard she had an attitude problem, like everyone else.
Oh, 100% of it'll be a smear campaign the second that she's officially out the door.
Right.
But it's safe to say at this point we know she's all but officially out the door.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like her relationship with AEW is going to work, and I don't even know. Like, if she returned last night, would it have been like an oh my god moment, or does it fall flat? Like, oh, it's her again. She's back. Because last time she was in Pittsburgh, it didn't go so well.
Right.
But anyway, Nick, we do have a main event, an exciting main event. If you've been kind of watching, especially the career of Ricky Starks with this one, but there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of involvement. We don't know how this is going to break down, but Ricky Starks, Oba, is there any chance that Ricky can take down? I called him Starks. I know I did. Any chance that Ricky can take down Oba?
I'm starting to believe, but real quick, there is Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs as well.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes,
there we go.
You want to do that one? Well, we already put.
We can do this one quick. Trust me. Well, I saw people already giving their predictions for the Oba match before we were even talking about the Oba match, so we can say this quickly here.
Again,
Javon?
Tough to call. They're pushing Briggs, and Javon's the star. I'll go Briggs.
Javon's the star. You said it right there. Briggs needs maybe some buddies or something. You know, maybe he's just a fucking mid-guard guy. Maybe he pairs with Lexus and his Jeff Hardy beard. I don't know.
That's not actually Briggs and Lexus might work, dude.
And yeah, well, shout out I think Joel for bringing up that Lexus has the Jeff Hardy beard. I didn't even notice that connection. Right. But yeah, we just start our own little Sam Crow, or does Briggs join Dark State? We just collect them all. They all look like bikers. They all wear dark shit together.
Yeah, again, Briggs has been on the come up. He got over Yoshi. He's been picking fights. Like I said, Javon is the star in this situation. I'm going to go Briggs on a whim, but yeah, it should be a really fun match.
I'm going Javon because Bungie's, and he's the star, and he's the young OG, triple OG. This made me randomly think of something with now the TNA invasion. Could the Tony D'Angelo, we still don't know who came and visited the Dawn, could that be a Carlos Silva or anything like that? Is he the mole or anything? Like, do we get, is he the one that let them in or anything? It started making the gears turn because I was thinking of guys who were stuck in the mid card in NXT like Briggs, and I thought of Tony D'Angelo. And how do we tie him into some shit? Because he's been missing.
He has been missing. He hasn't shown up anywhere. I don't know if they have plans to use him. It was Enzo Amore that called him, by the way, folks.
You're soft, you're sloppy.
Right. But yeah, what does Tony D'Angelo's future look like? Is he back in NXT with the same vibe? Is he on the way up to the main roster, which some had predicted? If you are bringing him to the main roster, what does that look like? Where do you put Tony D on the main roster right now? Tony D versus Sammy?
I don't think you do. You
right?
He's a Donnybrook guy of like he's like a background guy for Rusev or something. But
right, he's like a tag team partner with Sheamus.
The fucking Irish Italian connection. They just call it.
Let's go. Briggs won the first match. All right, so
Dale, there you go.
Dale thinking Javon, and they do a third. Brian Pillman and Psycho Sid 2.0. There you go.
There you go.
I like it.
I hadn't even thought that way.
Brooks Jensen returns. Barb Rescue reunites.
Let's go.
Let's go, Damian.
Book it, Dano. They would work as a Monday Night Raw tag team right now. Bar Rescue versus the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, that'd be hard
versus the New Day.
Yeah, I mean, again, I even think Hank and Tank are close, and I think Hank and Tank would wake up the Raw tag team division in particular. I think there's an opportunity there.
At some time, as Jey Uso still is over with the Yeet gimmick, need to see Hank and Tank yeeting away with Jey Uso, just because that's like the biggest like frat party of all frat parties kind of vibe.
Richard saying, I don't mind Bar Rescue reunited. I didn't have a problem with Bar Rescue, the wrestlers. I had a problem with Bar Rescue, the soap opera. It was
that's the biggest thing.
I liked Kiana James a lot. I liked Fallon. I liked the people involved. It was just so bad.
See, that's the thing is you lost me when Kiana James got involved. And that's where you and I differ in that road. If you like Kiana, it might be the KJ tie-in, but I'm not as sold on her. I like her more, I guess, as Julia's manager. But I liked the pairing of Fallon and Briggs and Jensen.
Yeah, I mean, there was something there once upon a time. John Tapper, shut it down! Shut it down! Why are you looking at me like that, John? Put your eyes back in your head. The bar rescue storyline was awful. NXT 2.0 trash. There you go. That's what the issue. Keanu James always needs to be involved. Facts, MDB. Let's go.
No, well, let's get back involved in the match we were talking about previously. You mentioned about could Saints, leave here as a champion, and that closing scene of this week's NXT was some of the best Kevin Dunn eat your fucking heart out, because you would have never pulled off that shot. There is nothing but chaos going around and circulating everybody, and Saints pulls up, grabs the title and everything, and Oba claws his way up and grabs it and says, "Not today," and all that. Mwah, chef's kiss. With Brock not doing back anything with John Cena, is Brock Lesnar here to put over Obafemi at some point?
Man, that would be a crazy moment.
Yeah, I mean, how many really big guys do we have out there? There was the moment with Keith Lee where he was bopping and hip-hopping for Keith Lee coming out.
Well, I mean, again, we're talking about guys like Braun Breaker taking on Brock Lesnar right now, which would be insane. A chance to put Braun Breaker really over.
Brock's going to be in the Rumble, and I want to see Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Just kaiju big battle in the middle of Royal Rumble.
Yeah, watch them clear the entire ring, throw 4 or 5 guys out each, and then just stand toe to toe in the empty, the empty ring. Perfect. Let's go. How does Saints leave this pay-per-view with the world title? It has to be some type of distraction, some type is there a bit of a heelish kind of end to it for Ricky? Like, does he find a way? Does he have to find a way outside of just trying to beat this man clean?
Does he? Well, I mean, again, we're mentioning Obafemi in the same sentence as Brock Lesnar, and it doesn't sound foreign. It doesn't sound out of the blue. So that tells you how much they've built up and the force that is Obafemi. Yeah. Could it even just be a small package? Could he just literally win it on a fluke and just small packages the guy and then we run it back? Does Ricky Saints say his name and he appears? Or anything. But I don't know if that's the thing, is Oba feels like the guy of I don't know how you beat him. And that's a great position to be in. But Saints is kind of a guy that if he goes here and he loses, then it's just you got swatted down.
Yeah, I mean, he had like that brief touch of the rivalry, with the North American title, but I kind of feel like Ethan came out of the North American battle a little better than Ricky did. Like,
Ethan Page, the Ethan Page we have now is because of the match and how he came out of that situation with Ricky Saints.
So Ricky losing here makes me worry about Ricky. Not that he can't bounce back. I know. It's just optics. He's coming out the gate super hot. Some feel like he cooled off. I know you and I had that debate this week. But if he loses here, do you put him out and kind of really stifle him for now?
Well, now also begs the question of it, depending on the rumors you want to get into, of which one of these men moves up to the main roster first.
That's the other part. Do they feel like could you throw Ricky into like the Vision as the mouthy little guy that stands to the right hand of Seth, the left hand of Seth, and he's that little chihuahua that you kind of got to smack away before every time.
Does Saints become the bridge between Breaker and Seth?
Maybe. I mean, that would be an interesting setup.
Right.
It's possible. With Oba, I mean, Oba can move up anytime and you can throw him. Like if he showed up on Raw next week and challenged Rusev, you'd be like, oh, we're in, let's go. Oba's ready. It's just how long do they want him to develop? How much do they need to have him absorb before they send him up?
You're talking about a guy, Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, and how does he take down the kaiju here? How does he take down Godzilla, with Obafemi? Obafemi's been built up as the perennial star, the monster. You heard of the dream team? Well, we're the mean team with Obafemi. So
yeah,
he can jump at any moment. It's all a matter of, I've said for the longest time, he's just going to have to hand in the championship to Ava and said, I'm sorry, I broke your toy.
Yeah, right. I don't need this anymore. You can have it.
Right.
A couple people in the chat have said, and as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I could go with that.
No.
Where Oba looks like he's about to win, and Dark State comes out. And
you want me to hate this pay-per-view? You want me to hate this show?
Ricky Saints was the leader of the Dark State the whole time. That's why the champions kept getting beat up. And
if you do that with Dark State, you're going to put me in a dark place.
Come on. That's not bad.
Yes, it is bad.
Why? Then he has a title and a big faction. And they have a leader.
He doesn't need a faction. The guy that's out there showing you how he's from New Orleans and everything and doing all of this and everything. The superstar doesn't need a faction of fucking goons that hide out in the fucking, rafters doing all of fucking all. He should be a singles guy onto himself. But he doesn't need a faction. He didn't work in a faction in AEW. Why is he going to work in a faction in NXT?
But then you'd have the world champion and the tag champions all in the same group.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Let's go. Dark State beats down Oba for Ricky. Oh, dun dun dun. Now, Ricky.
So you're telling me that Obafemi's that big of a badass that it's got to take 4 people to beat down this man,
yes,
which is a great term of booking, but I hate the pairing with Ricky.
We just talked about him taking on the alpha of our species and Brock. So, yeah, it takes an army to take this guy down.
The only way you can sell me on it is because it took an army to take down this man. Right, I still think it could be something really sneaky to where do you think this is the last time they do this? Could it literally be something as sneaky as just a random small package from Saints and maybe he kind of grabs the tights or whatever and it's a 1, 2, 3 and he sneaks the fuck out of it?
I hate that as like the main event finish though. I think that's it's a little heartbreaking. I'd rather like Ricky, the ref gets distracted and Ricky throws a low blow and hits a Rochambeau and we get out of there. Can he hit the Rochambeau?
Thank you. You said that because I thought if you were going to say that a better finish would have been for the main event if Dark State comes out and everything. That's worse than a fucking roll up. Right. At least to me, if it's a competitive ass match and it comes down to like he's trying to take everything and he gets out of the fall from grace or something, or he rolls, he turns the fall from grace into a small package.
Right.
And that's how he turns around and gets it. Maybe he grabs the rope for leverage and you don't know if he was intending to cheat or he just got to win it. That to me is better than Dark State involved. I'll say that for sure.
I mean, it's interesting. I do like the idea of a Ricky heel turn because if he has been a little stale, if he could cheat to win this, and you save Oba because he gets cheated, and Ricky gets to establish himself as I'll do anything to win the belt, and I'm not giving it back.
Do we have again though? Do we get it all at any point? Any sort of TNA involvement or anything like that?
That's the biggest question, right? Both Carlos Santino as well as Michaels said this is not where this ends. They're all making sure the world knows that this has only just begun.
And I love every second of it. And all I wonder, we're going through the 5 stages of invasion storylines right now. This is where we start to really think that it's going to be really good. And we start to wonder like, who crossed whose side, who's going to show up where, this and that. Oh my God, it's amazing. We saw Matt Cardona on WWE television for 3 seconds. All of this. Do we get anyone that's a mole? That's anyone like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's all of a sudden on Team Invasion, on Team WCW?
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, yes, very much so. I think there's a high possibility, especially with some of the characters out there that, does a Sean Spears kind of act selfish with the culling? Could you have a surprise in someone else? For sure. I mean, that makes this kind of fun. We will see what they interfere with, if they do anything. Plus, it could go the other way. It's a Sami Callihan working for NXT kind of vibe.
He would work as a leader of the Dark State.
Come on.
What do you You mean, come on, Perrin Crow, the fucking hacker gimmick from NXT? Wasn't work as a guy that wouldn't tie in perfectly. Hey, they can complete the full circle of the Retribution knockoff if they got a hacker involved too.
All right, maybe. All right, so official, your overall excitement level going into No Mercy out of 10. What do you think we're gonna?
Did we even give an official pick for the main event?
I think we both. Who did you pick?
That's the thing. I'll take Oba.
Oh, you're taking Oba. I'll take Ricky.
Fair enough.
There you go. Back to the other question. I thought we said it, but what do you think the show's going to be?
The show's going to be?
Ooh. Yeah. What are you predicting? What kind of show are we getting?
I'm going in with an expectation of a 7 at minimum. I'll say that because again, on one hand, this hasn't been the most built up PLE or whatever that NXT's done in a minute, but at the same time, I think that there's going to be some really good matches that come out of this. This might be that what we say with AW pay-per-views or without kicks, its coverage of it might not be the most built up, but it's going to really over deliver.
Yeah, it feels like it when you read out the card, you go, that could be a good match. That could be a good match. That could be a good match. I'm going to put it at a 7.5. And we'll see where it lands. I like you. It could be a 9, it could be a 6. So it all depend on how they deliver. But overall, there's a lot of intrigue. And we saw by the chat, like there's a lot of 50-50 kind of split votes here on who's going to come out victorious.
And that's one of those that you can make a case, like even for, I'm literally looking at the card right now, Javon Briggs, Jordan Grace Monroe, Ethan Pitt, all of that, you can literally split between them of make a case for either side to win.
Absolutely. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is NXT No Mercy. But as we do, we cover as all the wrestling we possibly can. We also have TNA Victory Road on Friday, and it's going to be a fun one. We're going to be here. SmackDown. It starts late. It doesn't start till 9 o'clock. So, but yeah, we'll definitely at least have an eye on Victory Road tomorrow. And again, it should be a fun show. It's got a lot going on, and the NXT tie-in makes it all even more interesting.
Yeah, which do you think out of the two is more likely to have a crossover element? Is it going to be No Mercy because it's a day later and everything, or is it going to be Victory Road as we got kind of the dusted road seem out here? Victory Road, you got to drive on through it, baby. But is it going to be Victory Road because TNA invaded NXT, so now NXT needs to get their look back?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. I could see a sprinkling of Victory Road. I could also see something I think they got to continue this. So don't wait for Tuesday. Don't wait for next Thursday. Do a couple things in the next two shows. Like you said, some NXT people maybe make their presence felt at Victory Road. And then, there's revenge on the mind going into Saturday.
Right. Well, and Dawson, KJ and Nick, where are the righteous? On the independents, linking up with Karrion Kross. We finally got the righteous killers paired up. And
yes, finally.
Not in any goddamn company.
Right, KJ No Mercy and Victory Road.
Ooh.
Cute. I have no expectations.
That's the most you can say is cute.
That's adorable. Let's go, Victory Road.
Holiday Road.
But all right, let's get into the matches. This won't be a long, Anthony style in-depth breakdown. But Joe Hendry, EY back in the back at NXT, which was fun to see because he was not happy when he left, and I think the fans were disappointed because EY he had a lot to offer, and the WWE never tapped into it at all.
Is EY one of the most underrated creative minds in modern pro wrestling? And also proof that Vince has no more influence or is not involved at all with WWE. Otherwise, EY would not have fucking shown his face.
Yeah, right. EY had no interest in being around that man. So, two vets, Joe Hendry's in this weird purgatory right now where he's not really getting pushed by either show, but he's showing up on both shows. It's going to be a solid pro wrestling match. They're going to deliver. I think Joe wins, Nick.
That's the most I can say about this match. Is it'll be a good match. Joe Hendry wins because Joe Hendry's the man in the middle with this, battlefield, I feel, at this point. But it's EY in 2025 versus Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry's winning this.
Yeah, I mean, EY's a great guy. Plays his part well. He'll put Joe over, unless there's some deeper story that I don't see coming. This will just be a really good match for both guys to have. But yeah, I'm going Joe. Joe. All right. Now I will say, finding proof that this match is actually happening was damn near fucking impossible. So I see it listed, but it wasn't on the TNA website. It was annoying, but apparently Ridge Holland is going to fight Mike Santana under the idea that Ridge, if he takes out Mike, he gets a shot at Trick.
How this is almost more offensive than anything with the TNA belts switching over to NXT lines and everything, of like, this is the best you sent to try and take down TNA respectfully is Ridge Holland. That's your guy. That's your man. The guy who can't even get booked on NXT. Right. And I don't mean to fully hate on Ridge, but Mike Santana mops the floor with this. Shows that come Bound for Glory, not come Tuesday, but come Bound for Glory, of that he's taking the TNA title off of Trick.
Yeah, I really think they've set it up well. Obviously, Mike was the catalyst for the brawl, for the invasion to kick off. The straw that breaks the camel's back is that slap to the face of Santana, and then it was on from there. Big shout out to Geekbox. How you doing, Geekbox? Welcome back, sir. Hope you and the Fam Jam are doing well. But yeah, I'm putting all my money on Mike Santana. I think Ridge is going to give him a good match, push him around the ring. He's a big body. This is going to be a hard hitting. I think this match overachieves.
Does Ridge just start to work in TNA now?
Why not? I think it's a great fit for him. Right? He
feels like something can tag team.
Yeah, like you can't really. He doesn't really fit NXT. They've tried it. He's not really quite a good fit for the main roster. They've tried it. Maybe TNA is that in between, that just right Goldilocks.
Well, did you like everyone pointing out that now WWE can use all the wrestlers that they've released that now work for TNA and not have to pay them?
Yeah, it's genius. And I wonder, I still don't believe, listen, right now, we have no creative for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to let your contract run out. You're going to sign with them. And then we're going to bring you over to do some shit. And it's worked out well for some people.
So you're saying that TNA is the farm system,
right?
Even more for
we're sending you back down to the minors. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, they're the Savannah Bananas of the WWE.
I got Ridge. A lot of people picking Ridge. Look, chill out on Ridge. Let's go. Ridge is going to give him a battle.
Fair enough. I still think Santana, you're not going to change my opinion, at least, on who wins this match. Mike Santana is about to be your TNA World Champion. He's not losing this goddamn match.
Right. Yeah, I don't see him losing it, especially going into Bound for Glory, especially kind of being the leader of the invasion. I think he wins this for sure. And if nothing else, and it doesn't matter what we think of Ridge, it allows them to, we already got one of your guys. Who's next?
Yeah, I mean, you picked off one soldier who was aimlessly wandering through the battlefield, but anyways.
I said, son, when
you show up.
Ridge versus Santa is gonna cook. Let's go, Santa.
Give it a couple months in GCW in December. We'll probably have a Santa death match or something.
Right.
Holy shit.
Should have Ridge Holland join TNA and then do a story where he breaks. Oh, shit.
No, you can't keep doing that to this man.
Geekbox wants to see the world barn. Run it back. Run that back again. No. Remember his hand? Oh, these hands.
I'll break everything I touch. No. Everyone's favorite taxi driver, Big Nick. Everyone's favorite limo driver, Anthony. Everyone's favorite semi-driver, KJ.
I'll
Do you
accept
drive a Ford F-150, sir? That doesn't sound very Canadian.
Right? Yeah. I mean, there's a highly popular, Nick, all over the world.
That's a yes without saying what I drive.
Right. Fatal Influence. Ridge, not Raj. Roger that.
Are you calling
Raj
from
Holman.
Milwaukee?
What?
You said Roger that. I said, are you calling from Milwaukee Talkie? Over.
Ho, ho, ho train. Let's go, Stana. All right, next match. Mustafa Ali. This one's an interesting build. I keep feeling like the system is falling apart, but then it never seems to. Ali's been great in this role, but he's been kind of up and down. This one I think is hard to call, but is going to be a really, really good match.
This to me is probably going to be outside of, well, the X Division title match. This is probably going to be your match of the night between Moose and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
If I'm TNA and a guy who might have some things to say about WWE and who can say them really well is Mustafa Ali. And he's been over as a heel, but he kind of, maybe he's the TNA guy. He's the one of, I'm going to lead, go with that politician gimmick of, I'm going to lead us, this great TNA nation, to take over this invading enemy that is NXT. And he's a guy that has
Sell him as a general
venom and, you know, like you said, elements of truth in everything he'll say. So he's the best guy to lead this army. So I think he wins.
But Moose is like the heart and soul. Like he is your, you know,
that or is he just the bank account because he's the one that they have all the money invested in too? It's one of those. Well, if I signed you for 15,000 or like,
but he's
if
good.
I signed you for $3 million over 5 years, I got to make sure I get a return on my investment. So I'm going to make sure you're the guy. Not knocking me.
At the same time, if anyone deserves that spot, Moose is probably a guy as well. Like he's, you know, he's Achilles. Like send out your best. Well, here, take this guy. Like just kind of what you said. I do love the idea of Ali like cutting those speeches and kind of being the politician and playing that vibe. But I think if like Macklin, Moose, those guys are your warriors.
We seen you, Moose, versus Oba, and he sent you back on your shield. So we've already been down this avenue.
O'Shea.
You went down there. You went down there with force and got sent back on your shield. We need to go down here with tactic, with planning, with I know how this system works. You, with all of your might, with all of your power, you still got sent home.
Yeah, that's fair. Ali winning. I'll go Moose. You go Ali.
Prince Ali, fabulous. And again, there's going to be, I want to hear him cut promos towards the WWE and that are going to have that tinge of truth masqueraded in, you know, kayfabe.
100%. I mean, it works. It really does work. You're not wrong about that at all. Next on the docket, X Division title is going to be a fun match. Myron Reed back to TNA. Leon Slater been on fire. I think Leon Slater wins, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Like I said before, if the match we were just talking about isn't match of the night, this will be, and I can't wait till we get Leon Slater versus Javon Evans for the X Division title at Invasion.
Do it. Fucking do it. Why would you not do it? Like
that is the dream match of wet dream matches of anyone that likes some cruiserweight, high flying X Division light heavyweight wrestling. That's, pardon my take, that's your wet dream.
Oh, for sure. All the bouncy.
No, yeah.
Like that's all we're gonna have all night long. All the bouncy with these two. I'd say book it fast. I know we're making this one quick, but not much to say. Two good guys. Leon gets the win.
Yeah, this is the thing with Victory Road. Feels like it's more of this might have worked better as like a special Thursday than a Friday toe-to-toe with either one.
Leon, let's go. Why are you booing?
Boing.
Boing.
He wasn't booing, he was boinging.
He was boinging. Why are you booing? Steve Macklin, Frankie Kazarian, 2 vets. Should be good. The international title is on the line.
I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm so tired of seeing Frankie Kazarian. I really am.
What's wrong with Frankie?
That he's on my screen. Be an agent, be something else. Respect. And again, I know the man's talent. I'm over it. He's never flicked my fancy or anything. I think Macklin should just walk through this man of Kazarian seems like a really good stopgap and a good steady hand for TNA, and one of those of like, here's something that we can give you it's not the bottom, but it's not the top either.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, but Frankie's good because he is so like, why is he on my TV? So going up against certain guys, putting guys over, he's in TNA. I mean, I'm kind of okay with it. It's like he kind of took the Heath Slater role in TNA as of recent.
I would rather see Macklin versus Nemeth than Macklin versus Kazarian.
I would agree with that for sure.
I would rather see Macklin versus Myers. Let's see, Macklin versus Edwards. Should I keep going through people on the roster that I'd rather see than Frankie Kazarian in this match? I saw MDB saying Kazarian's apparently my Chris Jericho, or my version of your Chris Jericho.
Your TNA version. Kaz is TNA's Miz. You kind of, that's good. Yeah, right? Yeah, I mean, we never really take him like super serious as a contender. Macklin's awesome. This should be a strong win for Macklin. Unless they got something weird happening, which I can't imagine.
Piggybacking off of what I was saying with Mustafa Ali, Steve Macklin's the first guy that I need to get on my side because I know a soldier when I see a soldier, and that's his whole shit and everything. And he sat there and cut the whole promos of we're going to stand and fight. He's your Captain America. If you're building a team of Avengers, Mustafa Ali is Tony Stark, and Steve Macklin is goddamn Captain America.
There you go. No, I agree with you. Like I said, I also mentioned Macklin with the idea you need those bodies. Like you're going to need a Jake something and a Moose and a Macklin, and these are the guys that are going to be a big physical component of any type of invasion.
Who would you put Macklin against in NXT right now?
You could do Macklin Oba. You could do Macklin Oba. It would be absolutely fine. I think it would be wicked, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Who's on the card? See, Macklin feels like such a man, and so many people on NXT feel
you are not a man,
right? Like it's like Macklin would be coming in just whooping children's ass. Like that's what it feels like. Yeah, I think. Who did you just say?
Well, Paige.
Paige is a good shout because Paige will give him a good battle.
Yeah, but I feel like we've seen that. Would you do Macklin Saints?
You could, but again, I'd heavy favorite to Macklin. He's a maniac, and again,
that's the thing is, it almost feels like if Macklin goes in there, he's got to win.
I think so. I mean, you could put him in there and have a good match with a guy like Spears, but do we really care? You might almost need like an Osiris or a Nico to go after.
You're just trying to fit any way you can to put the Dark State into this. I was going to say Macklin Briggs.
Briggs is a guy that could give him a go, for sure. But even like I said, I mentioned Jake something. Like he's huge. Like there's like Oba, and maybe Out the Mud. Who they might have to phone Out the Mud. They need some size. This show needs some size.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, you get Macklin and something, or you do something with that versus Hank and Tank. Macklin's like, I know my way around a tank before a time or two.
Right. I like it. But Indianapolis Colts 3-0.
Jasper Troy versus Steve Macklin. Richard RM, you get the fucking point of the night because that's Abyss. That's NXT's version of Abyss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that feels a little more man on man. Pause.
Big beefy boys slapping
Yeah, a
me.
little beefier. That's the thing. I mean, some of the vets like a Macklin and that, you're like, oh shit, who do y'all have to stand up to this guy?
Yeah.
But the women's knockout tag titles will be on the line as the Elegance brand will take on the Inspiration.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Iconic. And I believe this is the last match on Victory Road because, yeah, other matches got moved and we can talk about that tomorrow.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I mean, in the sake of Anthony, I have to take the Elegance brand here. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, he might be beside himself during this match because he's got the Iconics, the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand. But I know my man loves some elegance, so I'll take the Elegance. See, speak of the devil, and he shall be. It's like he knows.
Elegance brand and the discussion. We're not even going to debate it. The Iconics, the vets, the former world champions can't pull it off. Come on, let's give some love to the Iconics.
Wow.
Let's go.
So I think we have the deciding force here of Anthony, the resident TNA insider, the man who puts the T in TNA, who that's now twice. It's like this man's listening in on us or something. Of every time I say his name, he pops up.
Say his name, man.
Yeah, he's the Joe Hendry of wrestling for life.
There you go. But yeah, the Elegance brand's been on fire, and I don't think it's going to stop. If you're going to go hard in the paint for the Elegance brand, I'll go Inspiration. I think they're veterans. They're on the comeback. It gives maybe a bit of a back and forth where the heels want their belts back, or do we just keep them chasing till Bound for Glory? We'll find out.
Well, does the Knicks show up in this match?
I think Knicks is done with wrestling for a while. I think Knicks has learned that there's less strenuous avenues to make a living.
Right, but she also said she's not going to go the Mandy Rose route and everything like that. But I think she seemed like with that whole little promo she cut of that, it's going to be more like an acting or a modeling gig.
Yeah,
I mean, I had no idea she was a soccer player in like fucking Finland or something. Yeah,
was it Iceland?
Iceland or Finland? One of them cold ass northern European countries.
Always fucking up the globe. Here we go again. It's not Greenland. It's Iceland.
No, it's all America. It is all just America and soon to be America.
Right. Got the Elegance brand for the win. Heart 3. All right.
Followed by preceded by Heart 2 and followed by Heart 4.
Right. Jasmine Nix debut and helps the brand. It would be really funny if she just showed up on TNA though. Like what?
Yeah, just you just turn around and instantly you get taken out by a cooler on Tuesday. Right. And then all of a sudden you're good on a Friday.
When is Tessa coming back? I actually don't know. Maybe Anthony has an idea of what her status is. I know we haven't seen much of her, so has there been an injury report, or is she just taking a breather?
I don't know, but Anthony out there saying he is actually torn on this match, but you said Elegance, so I'm going Elegance.
It's I mean, it's two good teams. This should be a fun match. The titles are on the line. We've talked a lot about TNA trying to rebuild the Knockouts division. And kind of no fault of their own, as we've seen in the past. They've lost quite a few names, but Ash has come in and done a phenomenal job. I know we used to give her a hard time as Dana, but she really found herself. And then you got teams like the Inspiration coming back into the fold. I think this is going to be a good match, no matter who wins.
What main events? And I guess literally say it and it shall be of. No, not exactly spoilers, but Tessa's back. Tessa, literally, Tessa came back as we were talking about. I don't know when she's going to be back.
Yeah, somebody probably said Tessa's back, and I read it as, when's Tessa back?
Either way, both still stand. Well, what do you think main events Victory Road?
That's a good question. I mean, do you do Santana Ridge and there's an angle, but it's non-title? Do you let the knockouts go? Maybe the Macklin Kazarian, but Kazarian in the main event spot doesn't feel great.
Do you do Santana Ridge, and that's when you get the NXT lick back?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the way. Maybe that's a way, honestly, that Ridge gets a win over Mike Santana, because not even trying to help Ridge, but to hell with TNA of NXT shows up.
Yeah, and then that could bleed into No Mercy, right? So you have some type of organized response during a nothing match, right? Santana fighting fighting Ridge is kind of it's a nothing match, but there is a backstory to it. And this way, when everybody raids, it doesn't matter. Nobody gives a fuck about Ridge and his title shot, or anything like that. So we just set it off. So that could be it, Nick.
Yeah, it's an Impact match that they managed to put on a Friday. They managed to put it a day late.
Isla Dawn show up there tomorrow? I'm shocked. Everybody should be offering this lady money to work. Like, I don't know what we're doing.
Did she show up at AEW though?
She did, didn't she do
she did was it a Ring of Honor?
Ring
Was
of
when they were
Honor?
doing the European tour or anything. When they were out there for Forbidden Door.
Yeah, it's really confusing. I mean, the same thing where people are trying to figure out, like, Beth Phoenix cameo, Beth Phoenix hanging around, but whether her husband left, so we don't know. Kind of similar to this one, but I think Dawn's phenomenal. I would, if she could go to TNA, do it, or wherever.
Absolutely.
But your excitement level going into Victory Road tomorrow night, it feels like it's an okay card, but it does feel like one of their Friday shows.
Yeah, to me, the excitement level was very much raised because of what happened on Tuesday. If we didn't get the invasion angle on Tuesday, honestly, Victory Road would have been a detour that I would have been glancing over at. Now with this being involved with the NXT stuff, there might be a time or two or a thing that pops off just out the blue that might pull us away from SmackDown even.
For sure. I told KJ, where is Ace Austin? I hate when they brag about like the biggest signing possible in wrestling right now, and then we never see them. It's really odd. It's very odd.
So if you need a green card, holla at your boy.
Right? We get you to stay here. We'll go 90 day for it. Yeah, yeet, Nick. Yeah, I think Nick had a Freudian yeet.
Did I? It's just me, Oos.
Right. Ace and Ricochet would be something good to watch. Yeah, I think I'm kind of like a 7 with this one again. I think it could overachieve, maybe a 6.5. Like it's not super. I mean, again, there's something here, but it's a Friday show, and it'll be all right.
Wanted a number. Oh, this is like a 6.
6, fair. I can understand that.
This is going to be one of those that I might probably rewatch more on Saturday in the afternoon before. I know we'll be here live watching both trying to pay attention, but I'll rewatch it on a Saturday before we watch No Mercy. And I'm hoping maybe you get an NXT to where they kind of get their lick back and they use this to kind of build up No Mercy. But
yeah, I think
like EY Joe Hendry is a giveaway. There's so much of this that there's some really good and there's some that are throwaways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, a little bit. I mean, even like as much as like EY is going to give us a good match with Joe, but there's not a lot of implication to much of it, and we'll see if they use it. And again, we're heading towards Bound for Glory. We'll see what implication it has on No Mercy, and we'll see when and if. The rumor is Invasion is going to be a huge card, and it's going to be the same night as Full Gear.
This pisses me off, and I'm not because of what you said, Rick, but Josh Alexander would have killed it in this Invasion.
Yeah, he would.
So close, and now he's out there. He's an understudy to Hechicero in the Don Callis family.
An understudy. He's becoming a bona fide jobber. He's losing more than he's winning. That's for sure. And
he's a Lee Moriarty, some might say. KJ. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It sucks. I'm a big fan. I saw him live, and it was phenomenal. If you let the guy work, he's one of the best talents you have in your roster. But if you sign him just so you can say the other company can't have him, then you see what's happened. So he's just floating in a giant Callis family.
He's in that giant soup punch bowl that is the Don Callis family.
Absolutely. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is our predictions for No Mercy. That is our predictions for Victory Road. We are back here tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Don't forget to click that little bell, as you never know when we're going to pop up. Tomorrow night, triple threat for the world title. Is Tiffy time up, Nick?
Is she injured? That's the biggest thing. Is if this injury is carrying on past that, then this might be. And also, do we see a Bianca Belair or anything? There's to me, there's implications with this match.
Jade goes to get the W, and Belair's the reason she doesn't.
I'm on my own.
Yeah, we'll see, folks. But it's going to be a fun one. We also got Victory Road, and don't forget No Mercy on Saturday night. Again, go check out all our socials. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. The channel is blowing up, and we appreciate every little bit of it, folks. But that's all she wrote for tonight.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that rest, you're going to put that for life with it.
See you on the flip side. Bye.